back in. When last we left our heroes, the party had returned to Elmswain and began to gather information about the various different leads, with the hopes that some of them might be connected. Xanthion was visited by a mysterious fey creature who claimed to be of the Summer Queen's court, who bestowed upon him a strange obsidian necklace, which he sought help in identifying from Ellie Hofbauer, a local apothecary and hedge wizard. Emma went in search of Felice Foggywood, hopeful that a woman seeking a missing daughter might somehow lead to her own reunion with her family. Natari and Morlo investigated the Saddle Blanket Inn in search of Ellie Hofbauer's missing pearl. After an abruptly ended conversation with the inn's proprietor turned up more questions than answers, Natari and Morlo decided to adopt a more clandestine approach. Fossion took a bath, and then attempted to leave the city in search of an arcanist to the south, but was foiled by a sudden downpour and a series of horrible ideas by Petra. The flash flood drove everyone back to the grizzled Grimlock except Felix, who had remained conspicuously absent the whole day. Back in the inn, the party found Lieutenant Iago Whitfoot of the Elmswain Guards Corps awaiting them, and they were summoned before the Reeve of Elmswain and the captain of the guard. Things nearly took a disastrous turn when Petra attempted a casting of disguise self to impersonate the guards, and Xanthion barely overcame his ever-present urge to knock an arrow. Sodden and dispirited, the party was led into a back study in the Reeves Manor, where they were met by a halfling male, a hobgoblin in plate armor, and a taciturn female dwarf. It is early in this rain-soaked night in Elmswain. The crackling fire on the Reeves hearth just beginning to warm your damp forms. The hobgoblin crosses their arms over their chest, the plates of their armor creaking and clanking against one another with the motion. They eye the party over, a cool, calculated look, and then speak. Do we have a problem?
Yeah, Felix, do we? Are we all there?
Felix is not there.
Oh, damn it.
So Petra just randomly says, yeah, Felix, do we? Looks around, realizes he's not in the room.
God damn it. I need my lightning rod.
And the hobgoblin kind of looks you over for a moment, and then the halfling behind the desk stands and says, Now, Captain, please, listen. Let me introduce myself. I am Bartram Harline, Reeve of Elmswain. Welcome to my home. It is a pleasure to meet you. I just wanted to take this opportunity for us to sit down and have a conversation with each other. I do hope, and he glances sidelong at the hobgoblin, I do hope that your escort behaved professionally on the way over here. This is Captain Avrig Rend. He is captain of the Elmswain Guard Corps. And he gestures over to the dwarf and says, and this is Bailiff Morcana Cruff. She is the bailiff of Elmswain.
Hi.
Why are we here?
The hobgoblin takes half a step forward around the desk and says, well, I have it on good authority. And he reaches over and he puts a hand on Iago Whitfoot's shoulder. And at this moment, the door opens and Felix pops his head in.
Felix, I missed you.
Oh, there you are. Look what you did.
Good to see all of you.
Felix, you're standing with your head through the doorway. Are you going to enter and join?
Yes, I say that as I come through. It's good to see all of you.
Can you use your fancy words and talk us out of this? I screwed up.
And the Reeve says, now, there is nothing that anybody has to talk their way out of.
Oh, thank God. Then don't talk, Felix.
And
so I quickly look over.
I stick my tongue out at it.
I look at the halfling at the desk, Reef, kind of questioningly, just assuming that he is the Reef.
He does. He nods and says, yes, I am Bartram Hartline. I am Reeve of Elmswain. You must be Felix.
Yes, sir.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to my home.
Well, thank you for the invitation. And I look over to the hobgoblin. Captain?
He nods.
And I look over at the dwarven woman and Madam.
She gives a curt nod. As I was
Are
saying,
y'all going to answer my question? I'm still looking down at him like...
attention basically focuses straight to you, Foss, and the reef.
I'm gonna bust up in game.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And the reef says, "Oh my goodness, I am sorry if the captain's guards pulled you from the bath." And he looks at the captain, just exasperated, and says, "You could have at least let him get dressed." And
Yeah.
Captain
No.
looks at Diego.
This is all. I take my towel and hold it up. This is all I'm wearing. My other clothes were horrible.
Oh well, that is just unacceptable.
Oh, sorry. I've
And,
been told this isn't acceptable.
Back on.
The Reeve claps his hands, and a guard or a servant enters from a different door than you entered in from. And the Reeve says, "Would you please? I'm sorry, I did not catch your name, Mr. Dragonborn.
Foss.
Could you please get Mr. Foss some comfortable clothing? He is standing here in a towel dripping wet."
Oh,
In
you're
fact,
going
could
to
you
get me
fetch him?
clothes? You're going to get me... I'll go with her. All right, which way you want to go?
No,
Let's go.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to have a word with each of you, the captain says.
Wow, you're ominous.
Well said, Foss.
2 seconds.
I second that.
I just figured.
He's talking to God.
All right. Yes, Lord.
Lord.
Hold on.
What wilt thou have of me?
Hey, you still owe me, you asshole.
It'd be funny if she threw something at him right now.
God, what was it? I used to, like, when we played football, it's like, when it get really hot, we'd all start saying stupid shit, and one day I was just fed up with it. I was like, God, Satan, one of you assholes has to owe me something.
It's an interesting point to come back in on, but okay.
Good to be back, everybody.
The captain, who has his hand on Diego Whitfoot's shoulder, which is kind of comical because this hobgoblin stands about 6'3", and of course Diego Whitfoot, being a halfling, stands about maybe 3'9" to 4'1", somewhere in that range.
Please tell me he had to get like a little step stool and he just like climbed up the step stool. Now.
Nice. And the captain just looks down at the lieutenant and says, "Lieutenant, would you like to take this one?" And Diego Whitfoot just kind of looks embarrassed and nervous at the same time and says, "I thought I was rather clear that I had hoped that we could all be on the same page as far as any further threats to the city."
We're writing a book.
And
Hi, whoever you are.
That's my roommate, Kelsey. She's the one who loves Lord of the Rings and
Oh,
wants to do
sweet.
D&D. Yeah, that's my
Nice.
roomie.
Nice.
She's super dope.
So the captain says, "So I find it interesting that we had to receive word secondhand from patrons in the Lumpy Lady last night that you encountered an entire legion of the undead not 2 hours south of here."
Okay.
Yeah.
Snitches. It wasn't
Yeah,
me.
one of them bit me, and
You were
he
the
helped.
only one there.
Emma.
Diego, Lieutenant. To be clear, when you talked to us, you said not to mention any of the undead in the city. You made no mention of talking about what was outside of city limits.
Oh.
I believe Diego says, "There must have been a misunderstanding somewhere. I did indeed ask you not to go around spreading word of what you encountered in Matilda Bergdorf's attic. But I did also ask you to let me know of anything pertinent.
Oh yeah,
Any
we
other
couldn't
threats?
find you.
Does this mean I don't get
We've been
clothes?
looking for you. Yeah, I second that question. Does this mean he doesn't get clothes? This is kind of
Would
important.
prefer he get clothes.
Can we get the Dragonborn some goddamn clothes?
We're telling you
Yeah,
now.
at least give him a pair of pants.
We didn't know where to find you.
And to be completely honest, we don't know if they're at all connected. I mean, 2 undead sightings, one in town, 2 hours south of town. Yes, they're both undead, but quite honestly, I've been at the Lyceum trying to figure out why these undead have been so different from what, well, one would generally expect of zombies.
Tell me, Mr. Septim, the dwarf speaks up. Do you usually find undead in close proximity to one another?
Ooh.
Is this
And tell me,
something...
how do you know my
I am
name?
speaking, Mr. Septim.
And I was asking you a question as well, madam.
You would do
Talks
well.
pretty too.
You would do well to think very carefully about this. What can you tell us about these creatures that you found to the south?
Well, they had the appearance of zombies. Madam
Morkana, Kras,
Madam O'Connor.
bailiff
Thank you.
of Elmsvane.
Madam Bailiff. Thank you. Now we've established the common courtesies. They had the appearance of zombies, but they behaved differently. They bit, they clawed, and they tried to eat, whereas your general zombie tends to act more in a shambling sort of Half-Life manner, using whatever weapons they might have had at the moment of their death, or been given as they rose into unlife.
God, wrap it up, bro.
Generally, they acted more like ghouls and ghasts than zombies.
I start playing
It's
some
gonna
like wrap
whisper
it
to
up
Petra.
music.
You're playing him off
whisper to
stage.
Petra.
I'm playing him off
Kill her?
stage. Yeah, dude. Like,
I look
okay.
at Petra. That is a nice tune, by the way.
Thank you. Are we good now?
Felix.
This verbal pissing match.
The Reeve says, Felix, now the lieutenant told me that you had told him that the behavior of the shadows in Mrs. Bergdorf's attic were unusual compared to the normal behavior of those creatures as well. That's concerning to me. As a studied man, what's your opinion on this?
You know, I study
hard.
man a lot too. Wink.
Oh,
Not the time.
I'm
not
sorry,
the
ma'am.
time.
Yes, please, anyone. This is somewhat uncharted territory for me and for Elmswain, and any information that any of you can give. And at this point, a servant comes in and brings you a set of clothing.
It hurts
Awesome.
when they bite.
Thank you.
Everyone knows I made a
Thank
joke
you
when I
very
said I
much.
study man too, right?
And so at this
Yeah,
point,
I got
Serious.
it. I got
Thank
it.
you.
How do you know these
Thank
are
you,
going to
Xanadu.
fit? Are you sure they're going to fit?
No, it's
Are
Xanadu.
they
Come on,
baggy? I
I
just
understood
need
the
to know.
joke.
they're pretty oversized. So yeah, they're probably going to be a pretty decent fit for you.
Thank you again. I drop the towel and start putting clothes on.
Yep.
So, generally speaking, if I were to give an educated guess on to why they're behaving so differently, I would say that you might have a necromancer in your midst.
And at this point, the bailiff leans forward onto the Reeves' desk, and she's tapping her finger, and she says, "Mark my words, this has something to do with that beast of this house." At which point, the captain of the guard kind of bristles a little bit and says, "Madam Bailiff, I would appreciate it if you would refrain from calling any person a beast." And the bailiff kind of sits back with her hands up and says, "Captain, please, you know what I'm talking about. These posts he makes on the notice board. Arcanist 6 test subject, high tolerance for pain required. How many of our fellow Elmsvaners have died because of this?" And she looks to the captain and pauses for a moment in sentence and says, "This person's experiments. He should be investigated." The captain replies, "I can assure you he has been. thoroughly. He has not broken any laws. Morkana Cruff, the bailiff, just kind of huffs up, and the Reeve feels the need to step in and kind of inserts himself between the two of them and says, Morkana, Averick, please. Perhaps it would be prudent to speak to him again, not as a suspect, just to see if he knows anything. If nothing else, it's a place to start.
Well, I was going there today,
You can go talk
but
to
then it
him.
started raining.
So Madam Bailiff, you seem to have taken a vested interest in this individual. What information could you give us about this archivist?
Just that he strolls into town and posts on the job board seeking test subjects for experiments. I know not what these experiments include. All I know is that we're lucky to get half of them back again.
So I look at her. Du ist dwarven?
Yeah.
So then I continue asking her general information here. I'll just whisper it to you.
Wait, I speak Dwarvish too, so I want to, but I'm not going to tell him. I just want to listen and not say anything.
Nice.
Thank you.
I also speak Dwarvish.
Yeah. I want
you
to
don't
eavesdrop.
Tell you what, no, you don't have to whisper it. Just say it, because at this point, more than half the party speaks Dwarven.
Right. I was speaking it because I didn't want to piss off the guard captain anymore.
Right.
So, what is his name, and where does he live?
I have no idea. He lives south of here. About half
Austin
of it
is where he lives.
So then I come back into common. Well, that makes sense then. Zombie sighting, unusual behavior 2 hours south of town. He lives south of town. You have reasonable suspicion. I would suggest, and this is educated guess, to reopen an investigation.
The captain slightly bristles at the suggestion of how he should do his job, but looks at you, Xanthion, and says, did I overhear you say that you would be interested in paying a visit to this person?
Yeah, we can do that.
Reeve Harline, I have to say, I do not feel comfortable sparing a single body that could be used for the security of Elmswain. And the Reeve just nods and says, duly noted, Captain. In the interest of establishing a better rapport between our two sides, your group, and the Reeve just kind of looks across the room at each of you and scans you and just says, do you have a name that you go by?
I like the southern accent, by the way.
Thanks.
No, we've never really created a name. We were all in town to hop onto the Odic Fest transport tomorrow, actually.
Oh, so you are trying out at the Sprouted Bounty. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well,
some call us Petra and the backups.
No one calls
No,
us
they
that.
don't.
No one calls us
No,
that.
they don't.
Damn.
Understood.
Good try, though. Good try.
Mr. Dragonborn, are those close to your liking, sir?
No, but they'll do.
All right, then.
I will say that I was going to go be a test subject for the man. I was.
And at this point, the bailiff, you just kind of hear the bailiff under her voice just kind of say, well, it is your funeral.
Wait a second. Foss.
Yeah.
Bailiff. Everyone assembled. What if we send someone under the guise of being a test subject and monitor the situation and intervene if something should get out of hand?
Well, I just wanted the gold so I could get me some armor.
Something tells me if we do this right and there is something to be found, we might have a little bit more gold than just armor's sake.
Well, I've been told that really good armor can be made from gold. So if I do this for the city, would the city give me armor?
And the Reeve just kind of looks at the captain, and the captain looks at the Reeve, and I am sure that we can come to some sort of an agreement, Mr. Foss. But if you're trying out at the Sprouted Bounty tomorrow for the caravan to Bright Hollow, you're gonna have to put off the visit for at least a day or two. It is a good half a day's journey to the south, and your tryouts are tomorrow at noon. But I think, and he looks around at the bailiff and the captain and says, but I believe that we can agree that as long as it gets done before you would leave for Bright Hollow, then you could report back to us, and we would greatly appreciate any reconnaissance that you would be willing to do for the defense of this city.
Look at Felix.
What's
that
that
Sounds like
mean?
a plan.
What's that mean?
What does what mean, false?
Foss didn't get it, so he's just like, so they're going to give me armor?
So what they're saying is you're going to go to this Arcanist just like you had planned. The rest of us will tag along just to make sure that nothing funny happens, no bad business happens to you, and if something comes out of this, the city will reward us. Armor could be a reward, but we have to do this before we go to our tryouts tomorrow.
And the Reeve sits up and says, no, there's no way you're going to get it done before the tryouts tomorrow. The tryouts are at noon, and it would take you that long to get down there. I would recommend doing it after the tryouts before you leave for Bright Hollow.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, I would hate for you to miss out on a job opportunity because you go off looking for this fella down south.
Yeah.
The captain can show you on the map exactly where to look.
Okay.
But no, don't set off tomorrow. You will never make it back in time for the tryout.
Can I do a perception check on the captain?
What are you trying to perceive?
See how he's reacting to all of this, because he seems a little defensive.
What? That would be insight, not perception. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
$15.
What's the turtle doing during all this?
Check the chat, Logan.
Right.
But to the best of my knowledge, I believe that the caravans usually leave out for Bright Hollow on the weekends. That would give you, tomorrow is Wednesday, so that would give you until Saturday to do this. That should be plenty of time. But please do not put yourselves in any danger. If you find that this person is dangerous, then
Unfortunately, Reeve, I apologize to interject, but it seems that, and not speaking ill of your captain, but it seems that whoever this person is, if there is something malicious going on, they are also exceedingly good at hiding it. So unfortunately, I think it becomes necessary for at least someone to dance the knife's edge.
Oh
I
my.
don't care to die.
Well then, if you don't
I
want
like
to, Foss,
dancing.
if you don't want to, then I will gladly take your place.
I mean, I don't care. I'll do it. I don't care to die.
So then, it appears we have
An agreement.
some sort of plan.
It's
Are we
fantastic.
What?
are we free
What
to
do
go?
I do?
Let me just be clear, because there have been, and of course you are free to go. You were always invited here as guests, and I am sorry. Again, you notice him give like a side-eyed glance to the captain. I am sorry if there was anything that was done to give you the impression that you were anything other than a guest in my home.
Yeah, there were a lot of impressions, and they were
It's-
bad.
I mean,
What?
It was your fault.
I can't argue. I don't
Shut
know what
and
happened
mine.
with them. But
Xanadu. I thought we
Reeve,
were in
it's-
danger.
it's one of
I thought
those-
we were
it's
in
one of those-
danger.
casualties of the occupation. You send an armed escort, people tend to get an impression.
You fuck
You
with
could
me,
come
I
and
fuck
get
with
me
you.
anytime you
That's
want. Just have clothes.
Simple as that.
Very well.
That guy will get naked for me, so we're unstoppable.
He did
I
drop
am-
his towel.
I am sure that
Did.
you are. You are the most entertaining bunch that I have had in my study in quite a while, I can tell you that. But it is getting
All
late.
thanks to Petra and the backups.
And he claps his hands again, and the same servant enters, and he just says, "Can you please fetch these people waterproof shawls so they can make it home without being soaked to the bone again?" And the servant runs and fetches all of you shawls that are waxed burlap to shield you from the rain. Basically a medieval umbrella. And,
This is the best gift I've ever gotten.
well, that's just sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, a human toe is a close second, though.
And the captain, the hobgoblin, says, "Reeve Harline, if there's nothing further, I would like to return to my post."
I don't like that guy.
Bartram
I said that quieter.
Wait, you say what now?
I whisper to myself, I don't like that guy.
You do or you don't like that guy? I just can't hear you.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
Got it.
Can I hear him? Do we hear him?
Roll a perception check.
Because I want to hear him.
And you're trying to whisper, so roll a stealth check, Xanthion.
God.
Shannon, did you see your chat?
Who?
I mean, you can try.
No, did you see I whispered to you?
I know. I'm saying
Okay.
you can try.
Oh, okay. You responded then. Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't catch a word of it, Petra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And all right. Well, and so the captain, the bailiff, or sorry, the reef says to the captain, "Of course, Avrig, you can return to your post. Thank you very much." And the hobgoblin walks out, and the dwarf gets up and says, "I must be going as well. It was a pleasure to meet all of you." And
Thank
opens
you.
the door.
Likewise.
Madam Bailiff.
Wink.
Might I escort you?
Hey!
I have a few questions I would like to ask you. Professional, of course.
Roll a persuasion check.
Come on, that one.
I like the music.
Did it go?
This is so intense.
No, 22.
Hey!
Holy fuck yes. Sorry, forgot we're recording.
That would be acceptable. And she turns and walks out.
And I follow.
Okay.
Hey,
And-
guys, can I get a gold piece?
Hey, Xanadu, those two pretty talkers are gonna go on a walk.
And
I
these
think they're gonna kiss.
the Reeve is now openly laughing at this point. It's just you guys are a riot. But
Hey,
if you,
hey, Reeve guy. Hey, Reeve guy. Can I borrow
Xantar?
a gold piece?
Zuthon?
I'll give you a gold piece if you shut up.
if you will,
that?
if
Done,
you will
done.
excuse me, it is almost dinner time, and if I'm late
Zacharon?
to the table, Janster is fit to be tied. So
Hey.
I'm gonna be going.
I
Hey,
never know
Aaron.
what your name is.
Yeah.
Just real quick, as someone who loves music as much as you do, I'm amazed that we haven't thought of this one before. Why have we never called him xylophone?
Oh my god. Wow. I am ashamed.
I was a music major at one point. How the fuck did I not remember that?
Yep.
Shit did it again.
Nice.
I made a list on my phone and then I accidentally deleted it, and it was the saddest moment of my life. It was such a good list. It was all of the Z and X drugs.
Good.
All of those. Yeah.
Good.
I think
yeah.
xylophone was on there, but I forgot. Anyway.
All right.
Can we make that a discussion post?
Yes, I will. I will do that after the session.
Yes.
Possible nicknames for Xanthion. All right.
List in the comments below.
So you guys exit, and the Reeve stands and also exits. So if you will excuse me, I cannot be late to the table again. And leaves.
So, Petra, were you serious about that gold piece if I shut up about it?
Well, you're not shutting up about it, so you're not gonna
Scott,
get it now.
Morlo has been very quiet this whole time. Are you doing anything?
Nope, I'm just listening to these guys be assholes.
Love
And
it.
Sighing and shaking my head every once in a while.
Is it bad to say that I just imagine Morlo like sitting in a really big chair with his arms and legs in his shell and his head popped out?
That's kind of awesome.
I love it.
Kind of like when you're cold and you draw your arms into your sweater.
Yeah, and you just kind of sit there like a potato.
At one point, I want to ride him like a surfboard.
Hey, watch it.
Or a snowboard. Just be like, whee!
Duly noted. Okay. All right. So Felix has taken off again. You saw him for like 10 minutes. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna go and try to like see what the captain's doing.
I'm gonna spy on the two of them.
Wait, where's Felix going?
He left with the dwarf.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Yeah, I want to spy.
Okay. So a few moments have passed. So Felix, you get out into the hallway with Morgana Croft.
I guess so.
And she is just walking. She is not waiting for you.
Yep, I'm just walking with her.
Okay.
I wait till we get out of earshot of the guards, and Madam Bailiff, I respect your position. I respect your authority, and I can safely assume that you've probably endeavored to find out more about this Arcanist. Do you have any information that would not have been agreeable to give in front of the guard captain that you could give us?
If you are insinuating that I hold information from Elmsvane's captain of the guard, you would be incorrect.
Well, pardon me, you tend to know more about me than most people, so you could assume why I would think that.
I make it my business to know about people who seem to bring trouble to my city, Mr. Scepter.
We do not wish to bring trouble. We just wish to audition, make money, and leave on to the next town. And help as best we can.
Let us hope that day comes soon.
And then I am going to...
And about at this point, with the conversation that would have happened in the room, Petra, you would be about ready to go trying to sneak after them. So you're leaving the room? That's a question, sorry.
Yes, sneaking.
Yes. Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Following and not sneaking.
What?
So you start sneaking down the hallway and then just hear absolutely regular heavy footfalls behind you and turn to see Emma coming up the hallway behind you. Okay, so at this point you are in the hallway and you do have clear line of sight. Felix and Morgana Croft are just down the hallway from where you're at, like probably at this point probably 100 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna take out my
Please say boomerang. Please say boomerang.
I'm gonna take out my boomerang and throw it at the opposite end of the hallway of them and say, "Go get it!"
To who?
Hey, look, it's a toy. Go get it! And I throw it.
You're playing fetch with a child.
Who's a good kid?
Okay.
That's how it works, right?
If I went and got it, you just take it from me like the last one.
Okay, no. You'll get it the rest of the day if you can go find it. You'll get it for a whole day. And you can play with it. No throwing it at people unless I tell you to and they deserve it. Okay.
It looks
So you're gonna get to throw it at people.
So at this
You're
point,
not there.
there's just a congregation. Well, I mean, they're leaving too. There's no reason to stay in the Reeve study. He has left. Scott, Ben, are you guys joining the get together in the hallway?
I thought you said we're not supposed to go off alone.
Are you talking to me, Emma? Who are you talking to?
There's so many people in the hallway you don't even know who he's talking to.
Who are you talking to?
Okay, Felix. So, what do you say in response to that? Because this is now all happening simultaneously.
Wait. So we're in the same room as them, correct?
Roll me well, no, it's a hallway. You're in a
Hallway.
hallway. She is heading for the main foyer of the Reeves Manor, and the Reeves house is big. I mean, it is the biggest building in Elmswain that you have seen so far. No, you do not notice that you are taken aback
We're
slightly.
actively yelling. Just like,
I'm walking out to go outside, and then I'm going to go find an armor smith.
Got it.
I'm walking out, and I'm gonna go find that captain and spy on him.
Got it. Okay. And Felix, what are you doing?
So, still walking with the bailiff.
Yep. And at this point, you're just about getting to the main foyer. Like, this is the main large hallway that comes out of the foyer and goes down the central hallway of the Reeves Manor and just kind of branches off to various ballrooms and studies and meeting rooms and dining rooms and such on the main floor.
Okay.
As I walk past Felix, can I point out Petra?
You're not there yet, but well, let's see how long this conversation lasts.
Okay.
So as I'm walking with her, Madam Bailiff, do you have any information on other casters in this area that might have a connection to this individual?
Not the time it is. There's a reason he has set up shop outside the city.
And is there anything in the areas, to your knowledge, that would persuade a magic user to set up shop in that area?
I do not pretend to understand the affairs of magic users.
No town, no cottage.
According
tower?
to what the captain has said, he lives alone in a tower. Very cliche, don't you think?
More than cliched, yes.
Now, if you will excuse me, I am late for dinner. It was a pleasure to meet you.
And a pleasure to meet you, Madam Bailiff.
Enjoy the rest of your stay, my sweet.
I will.
And she draws her shawl up over her head, and you have now made it to the foyer. Xanthion, you're arriving now, actually. As the dwarf turns and walks away from Felix, Xanthion walks up to you, Felix, and says,
I reach my hand out, kind
Hey,
of like a
Petra's
greeting
been
gesture.
spying on you the whole time. And then I walk out. Put my
Thank
shawl
you.
and walk out.
I didn't notice, but I'm not surprised. But thank you.
okay.
I just turn back and wave at them.
Did you turn back and you see, and they're just all standing down the hallway coming toward you.
Hey. How's your chat with Madam Bailiff?
Wasn't as informative as I thought it would be, but
I bet it
better than
wasn't.
nothing.
I bet there was a lot more than information being exchanged. Wink, wink.
see, I'm trying to figure out why an arcanist like that would set up shop south of town, but the reason eludes me. We should probably get some sleep before tomorrow.
Yeah, I bet you're really tired. I bet you're super tired.
And I look up at you, and it's like at this point you can see now that you're finally closer up to me. I have bags under my eyes. I am paler than I already am, which is saying something because I'm pretty fucking pale. And I am very tired.
You look like a ghost.
Can you
Like a
teach me
ghost that got
magic?
beat up.
What was that, Emma?
Can you teach me magic?
Well, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation about magic to you. Yes, or with you, I guess.
Right now?
To you.
Well, let's put our hoods on and let's go to the inn. All right?
Okay.
He needs a nap.
You can ride on my shoulders if you would like.
Xanthion, you have made your way out into the downpour. You are looking for the
Captain.
captain. Roll an investigation check. Because this you have to actively search for him. Yep, you are not sure what direction he went.
I'll just head back to the inn.
Just enough time had basically passed for him to get enough of a head start that you lost him.
Yeah, I'll just head back to the inn with everyone else.
All right. What is everybody else doing?
Before we get started, traveling down, Felix sort of shakes himself from talking with Emma real quick and looks at Petra. Petra, did Emma oh no, did Xantheon tell you the information that I asked him to relay to you?
No, he's just pretty much been annoying the whole time.
Oh shoot.
So what's up?
There was
Important information.
well, Ellie Hoffbauer at the salvage apothecary is missing a freshwater pearl, and she
Ooh.
doesn't know where it's at. And I told her that I have a acquaintance who is familiar with
And
getting
Emma
information.
apparently tries to attack someone.
Nice.
Emma fires off a spell.
So then I tell I
hit the
basically
wrong-
I'm
I didn't
He
hit the wrong
and
button.
accidentally fires a spell.
poof. So I told her that I
Sneezes
have an
and
acquaintance
casts fireball.
who is good at getting information. She doesn't know where it's at. She had dinner with a friend. It was the
Yeah.
last time she saw it. I didn't know if he had told you that, but maybe that's something that you could use and make money off of.
So who's this acquaintance?
You are. You're
Oh!
my acquaintance who's good at getting information.
Oh, you're complimenting me. Oh, wow. Wow.
So I don't know what she's paying exactly, but the pearl itself is worth. Was it worth 50 gold, Shannon?
Say it again.
The freshwater pearl that Ellie was after, is it 50 gold pieces worth?
100 gold pieces. I was wrong. 100 gold pieces.
It's the pearl itself is worth 100 gold pieces, so I'm sure the reward will be even more substantial than the price of the pearl.
Ooh.
So I figured that's something that you would be better suited at completing than me and Xantheon.
Yeah.
Hey, Morlo, Scott, did you and Natari ever mention to Petra that you guys had been seeking more information about that pearl? Oh, did we lose Scott?
As we lost the Scots.
He's muted. Hey, Scott, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, did you and Natari ever mention to Petra that you guys had gone and talked to the innkeeper at the Saddle Blanket Inn? I can't remember if that ever got relayed.
Yeah, we did. Jim told them something, and then we were going to go have her look at Xanadu's necklace.
Okay. All right. So you hear Felix and Petra discussing the pearl. Just so you know.
Yeah. Where again? And why is this pearl important? Why does it cost so much money? And
So
where can I find it?
the pearl itself is rare, so hence the 100 gold pieces. Ellie Hoffbauer, she's the owner and proprietor of the Salvage Apothecary. She doesn't know where it's at. She uses it for a spell. She believes it to be stolen and has no other lead to go off of than the last time she had it was when she had dinner with a friend at some place here in town. So I figured if anyone knows how to suss out secrets, it would be you. Do I notice that Morlo's paying attention to the conversation?
Morlo, are you paying attention to the conversation?
Not really. 'Cause
Okay.
it was-
Okay,
it
I thought he
really-
was. Sorry.
Because that was more Jim's area. I was just there because, I'm a fighter.
Right. You're the
I
muscle.
I happen to be outside, so I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
You know what? Now that I think of it, I think I know. I think I've been to some place in town, and I'm pretty sure I've met some person. And I bet that's the person that has the pearl, of course. Away! And I just run away like an asshole.
I turn back to Emma. So, Emma, what questions do you have about magic?
How do you do it?
Well, generally it takes a lot of practice, and as we start talking, I start walking with her.
Mhm.
I hold out my hand if she wishes to take it.
I don't.
Okay, so I walk with you. You never know with kids.
Nope.
So, I start.
Smacks it away.
Get that shit out of here. So it sometimes takes a lot of practice. You, as a warlock, will find that it comes just about as easy as it does for me, a sorcerer. It'll be
Okay.
difficult to control at first, but with time and practice, it will become a lot easier.
You're still not telling me how.
Well, do you know what magic is, first off?
No. It does
So-
things.
It does things. It does.
And for the sake of brevity, a conversation ensues.
Yeah.
And you guys all make your way back. I'm assuming everybody's making their way back to the Grizzled Grimlock?
No, I'm going to find a armor.
Oh, yeah.
smith.
You're going for an armor smith. I'm sorry. Let me.
What time of day is it again? Is it like 5 o'clock?
No, we're pushing.
Or is it 8?
8 o'clock at night
Okay.
at this point. Okay, roll me an investigation check, Floss. Nine. That's not too bad. Okay, so is everyone else making their way back to the Grizzled Grimlock?
Yep.
I guess. I was running away sarcastically like an asshole because he gave me literally nothing to go on.
I assume Petra does everything like an ass.
Can I ask something? Are we nearby where the? Oh shit! That place. God, Jim had all the details for where that guy was last seen. Was that the Grimlock place?
Are you talking about where you were looking for the pearl earlier?
Well, we went and we talked to the innkeeper, and he said no, he's not here. I didn't say anything, and then we left. But then we saw him scurry into a back room.
That was the Saddle Blanket Inn. You are in southern Old Town, and the Saddle Blanket Inn is just in northern Haymarket, just the other side of northern Old Town. So you basically just got to head north. You would actually be heading back toward the Grizzled Grimlock to go to the Saddle Blanket Inn. From the Reeves Manor. Yep. The Reeves Manor is kind of like right in the heart of Elmswain, right on the river. And basically the other side of the market square from where the Grizzled Grimlock is. So it's basically just out of the Grizzled Grimlock, across a big open courtyard, and then into the residential district where the Reeve lives. And then just the other side of the Grizzled Grimlock is where you find the Saddle Blanket.
And that's where we were. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, when you're at the Grizzled Grimlock, you're really close to the Saddle Blanket Inn.
Okay, because I just see the job board. I didn't see if there's anything else.
I do not have a map of Elmswain up. I'm going to try to get one up so that you guys can visualize the city a little bit better by the next.
Okay. Well, at some point, I do want to mention to whatever the Tabaxi's name is when we're close by.
Petra.
It's pudding.
That's what
Quit!
Back
420 blaze it, bro.
All right.
No!
So you guys are all headed north. Foss, you're looking for an armor smith, and after, so you're going to be looking for about an hour. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Cool.
I'm asking around too if it might.
Oh yeah, I
help.
know that's all included in the investigation.
Okay,
check.
that's fine.
It's not a high DC. It's
All
just
right.
you don't know the city very well, so it takes you maybe 45 minutes to an hour to find it.
I'm in no rush.
Cool. All right. So Scott, you said you were talking to Petra.
I do. Yeah. Well, when we get close to the Saddle Blanket Inn, I want to tell her about what happened when we've been in there, and see if I can convince her to go in and invisibility or whatever she does to try to find out what was in that room.
Okay.
Can we go over what did you find out here?
Well,
What happened here?
Jim, we were looking for. Jim went in. Atari went into.
Yeah, and Natari relays this to you as well.
Yeah. He could do it better than I could. I was there. I was along with him, but he has the full story.
And basically what had
recap,
happened,
Shannon?
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Basically what Natari reveals to you is that they went and talked to the owner of the the Saddle Blanket Inn, and Jim got the strong impression that he knew more than he was letting on. Like he wanted to act like he knew nothing about the Pearl, but Natari is under the impression that he very much does.
Mhm.
And he asked them to leave because he felt they were causing a disturbance. And then he, before they were out of line of sight, he actually scurried out of the dining area on the ground floor and into a back room as if he was going to check on something.
Okay. So they just told me all of this. Is there
Yeah,
anybody?
Natari
Sorry,
did have the plan to ask you to try to sneak into the room and see if you could find anything to help give us a clue as to the identity of who this was that stole it.
Okay. Is there anybody that you saw there that's a regular that you can describe for me that I can disguise myself as? Because I don't really do that invisibility stuff. I'm not really that good of a bard. Not yet, anyway. Like, give it a day or two, but
Shannon, can I retcon a guy that looked at me funny?
I mean, actually, yeah, just roll a general intelligence check to see if you remember well enough to.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Turtles. I was going to say turtles never forget, but that's elephants. Okay. Intelligence.
If I've learned anything from Bugs Bunny, turtles always win the race.
Yeah.
Slow and steady, baby.
Okay, did that show up in the chat? Let me try it again. I didn't hear. There it is.
Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, a 13. Yeah, you can easily describe just somebody that you happen to notice. I mean, in close enough terms as far as like physical description and such.
All right, so there was this guy sitting at a table, and he was kind of ratty dressed, long black hair. Kind of gave me a dirty look, like he had never seen one of my kind before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Sounds like a stand-up fella.
You could look like him, and he was just average looking, average height, average hair.
And he describes the details of a person who had been dining.
And he had a hood that kind of hid his features. So there we go.
Just imagine average SpongeBob.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna cast disguise self.
I am perfectly normal.
And look. Yeah. And oh wait, no, I don't have any spell slots.
Yep, you are.
Never mind.
So
you know what?
May have to wait for tomorrow night.
You know what? I'm just gonna flirt with him. How about that? And
got it. Okay.
I push up my boobs, my cat boobs.
like all 8 of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I fluff my fur.
Got it.
Like lick my ears really quick and slick them back.
Got it.
All right.
And you're off to the Saddle Blanket Inn. Okay. Foss,
off
after a little bit of searching, not too far from where you are, you finally, it's actually a little hard to get directions because the area that you're in around the Reeves Manor is residential. So there's really not that many people out and about right now. But once you start getting out of that area and back toward where some of the shops are, a little bit further north in Old Town, you kind of get pointed in the right direction. And you get pointed to a smithy that is close to the Salvage Apothecary, just a little bit north of there, called the Blazes. And it's a fairly decent sized smithy. You can hear the sound of hammer on anvil as you approach. It's starting to get late, so they're probably getting close to closing down, but it does appear that they're open. There is a light and the door's open.
I walk in.
Tink, 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 and you see a halfling behind an anvil. Let's see.
I don't want to disturb him at what he's doing, so I will wait patiently.
Well, it's interesting. You walk in, and The halfling is standing about 2 feet away from the anvil, just going. And the hammer is being held by an incorporeal spectral hand that is hammering a sword that is laying on the anvil that he's holding tongs out with the other hand and keeping in place. And he looks up and he's like, "Oh, hey, we're getting close to close, but what can I do for you?"
Well, I just came from Mayor Bartram's house, and I was told there that I was going to be getting some armors, and I figured I needed to be fitted, so I figured I would go ahead and try to get that done.
Well, okay. You're probably going to want to come back when Feldman's here. She's gone home for the night. I'm her apprentice. She is usually here during the daylight hours. I'm just finishing up some stuff for her. My name's Panric. Panric Pimner. It's nice to meet you.
Well, Mr. Pinier, I really appreciate it, but I'm kind of pressed for time, and I've always heard apprentices are better at doing things because they're more highly in depth with their detail, and I'd be fine if you would do it. The way you're using that hammer there is great, and if we could go ahead and just get this fitted and get me fitted and some designs written up, that'd be great.
Roll a persuasion check. You are the customer that comes in 5 minutes before close. 15,
and wants the grande meal.
Okay. And he just kind of sighs, and he's just like still doing this, like directing the mage hand that's hitting the hammer against the sword on the anvil, and just like, okay, yeah, sure thing. What kind of armor are you interested in?
Well, I usually have to take the brunt of everything from all my friends. They seem to want me to just, I don't know, get hit a lot. So something that'll stop that from happening. That'd be great.
ER sponge.
All right. Well, Feldman's pretty great. She can make about any kind of armor you want. So I can get the measurements. Come on over here. And he takes you over to another corner, and he's still tapping his finger to make the hammer strike the whole time. And he just starts taking measurements.
All right.
Is his name Mickey Mouse by chance? And is this Fantasia?
No. Felix takes
12 points of psychic
34
damage.
points of force damage.
All right. Worth it.
And as the whole time he's like measuring everything, I'm just laying on the Southern Charm like crazy.
Yeah.
Just being false self, so we don't have to play all that out unless you want to.
It's like, now, out of character question. You're aware that if you wear armor, you lose whatever the barbarian ability is, where you add your con to your dexterity to get your AC, correct?
I don't even have it added to it already, so it doesn't matter.
I think it's unarmored fighting.
Yeah, unarmored defense.
It should have already been added there.
It should automatically be included on your thing. So, what is your con modifier?
My con modifier is +4, but the unarmored defense tells me it's a +10. I mean a +2.
I'll take a look at that, because your AC should be 10 plus your dex modifier plus your con modifier.
I'm gonna go over there. I'll help him figure
If
it
that was the case, then I should have a 16, but it's saying I have an armor of 14.
I'm gonna take a look at that after the
I'm
fact.
looking at it right now, Isaac.
That's a good. Oh yeah, because you're proficient on con saving throws.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong part of the screen.
Okay,
I am sorry.
That's okay. So just to let you know, to make it worth your while to wear armor, you need something that gives an armor that gives you 13 or better, plus your dex modifier to make it better armor class. Okay.
So that means it needs to be
Miss Aaron.
So it would have to be magical for it to do that
Did
to
you bring
me,
it up
right?
for the class?
Or plate?
Well, what armors is a barbarian proficient with?
No, that's a question I don't know. I usually play casters.
Barbarians are usually light and medium. Oh no, actually, barbarians might be all of them.
Armor,
Yeah.
light armor, medium armor, and shields.
Oh, just
Okay.
light and medium. Okay.
So you could. And what is your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is +2. Oh, no,
+2. So
yeah,
you would
+2.
with any medium armor, you would still get your +2 bonus. So armor and shields. You would need to invest in at least a chain shirt or better to end up with a better. You need to be a chain shirt or better to get a better armor class than you have right now. Just so you know.
All right.
Okay. And he takes your measurements and just kind of humors you as he puts it all down. And doesn't take that long. I mean, it doesn't have to be precise. Your armor actually needs to be able to move with you, so it doesn't have to be down to like the 16th of an inch or anything like that. And he's just like, okay, I've got some good information to work on. I still recommend probably come back tomorrow and talk to Feldwin. She's going to be the one who can decide on exactly what kind of a style you're looking for. But we at least have the information to go with. Now, what was your name again?
It's Foss, and I'm working for Bartram.
Okay.
The mayor.
You are with the Reeves office. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure Feldwin can make you something fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad I'm going to get me some armor. Do y'all make shields too?
Yeah. We've got some shields ready to go.
Well, put a shield on there too, because Bartram's going to pay for all this after I go and take care of this problem for him.
You got it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Have a good night, Foss.
And just walk out.
All right. Where are you going?
In Foss's mind, he's getting armor.
Right. Right. Okay. Petra, you are heading to the Saddle Blanket Inn. Morlo, are you going with, or are you staying behind?
Well, I don't want to get too close because I don't want the barkeep to recognize me.
Understood. Okay.
Maybe I'll go. I'll stay outside around the corner or something.
Keep that wax shaw around you.
Just as a backup.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Then let's come up with a sign if I get in trouble. So if I scream really, really loud, I'm probably in trouble. Okay? And you should run in.
Can't you also cast sending?
I don't know. I think that's just.
Or is that the other campaign?
That's bitch pudding.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
All right.
Scream.
If you scream, I'll come running.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right.
I'm gonna stay with the turtle.
So I want to stay within earshot of her.
All right. Got it.
Turtle.
Oh, you're taking the child along on the reconnaissance mission. Okay, good.
Emma, didn't you come with us? Oh, you're with Felix. I'm so sorry. I thought you were following me.
So Petra just walks up and grabs the child and carries her away. No, okay.
Petra just got so used to the child being there that
She's,
she turned to talk to her.
Can you
she was
please?
gone.
Can you please just be Baby Yoda, considering we're referring to you as the child now?
I love it. I
Sure.
love it. Okay, so you make your way to the Saddle Blanket Inn, which is a very nice looking inn overlooking the River Ingvisen. Lots of nice landscaping, lots of gable peaks along the roof where the individual rooms have their windows looking out onto the city with flower boxes underneath each window. Very nice looking place.
Yeah.
Super ritzy.
Ritzy for Elmswain.
For Elmswain.
So, okay, yeah, I want to, this is really abstract, but, if I cast Prestidigitation and, like, you make a color, small mark, or symbol appear on an object or surface, can I cast it on myself to make myself, like, look injured or, like, bruised or, like...
You would be able to give yourself a small bruise, like a small one, yeah.
Something that looks like a bruise on my... Or,
Where do you want it?
My eye.
Yeah, that's fine.
I want to look like I've been attacked.
You would totally be able to give yourself a black eye.
Okay. And I'm gonna tear my clothing a little bit because I'm gonna play the damsel in distress, and I'm gonna give my armor, or not my armor, my weapons to Morlo and say, hold these, I gotta look vulnerable.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah. Then I start fluffing my clothes and I look non-threatening, right, Morlo? Good? Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
All right. So yeah, if I scream, come save me. All right. See ya. So then I'm gonna go ahead and go into the saddled.
So you enter the bottom floor, the ground floor of the saddle blanket inn, and you find it doesn't look like any common room of an inn you've been in anytime recently. There is no bar. It looks more like just tables and servants, waiters scurrying about. And there is a gentleman who is dressed in fine clothes, standing at a podium that is right inside the door like a maitre d', and he just sees you come in and says, may I help you?
Oh, thank God. I'm being followed by these vicious bandits outside, and they roughed me up and they stole all my things, and I need help, please.
Roll a deception check. Yep. And the guy comes around the podium and then looks out into the rain that is still falling outside and just kind of hurries you like away from the door further into the restaurant. It's just like, come, we'll fetch the guard corps immediately.
Please, no, I have to hide from him, please. If he comes in here, he'll get me by any means necessary, and I don't want to involve any of you or your dear, dear guests or patrons.
Come, and brings you over to the servant station. And as you're walking over to the back area of the dining room where the servants congregate in the opening to the kitchen, and where the bar is, where the drinks are served from, taken to the tables, you see him flag down one of the servants, one of the waiters, and just says, please fetch the guard score, and looks at you and says, what does this person look like?
He is this tall man with a long beard and long hair, average features, the most average man you've ever seen, probably. And he had a rapier, and he threatened me.
Probably later.
And he hurt me. Please, I don't remember much. It was dark and raining outside, and he threw me from my horse.
Okay. And calls another one of the wait staff over and just says, just please get her a glass of water and keep an eye on her and make sure she's safe. And he returns to the post beside the door, kind of
thank you.
Peering out.
Your kindness. Your kindness knows no bounds.
And the servant that brings you a glass of water, and she's just like, you okay? You okay, honey?
Yes. Hi. So I'm faking all of that, and I was sent here to find a pearl or talk to somebody who stole a pearl, and I was wondering if you could help me. It's kind of secret, but I feel like I can trust you. You have kind eyes, and I can sense your gentle spirit.
Roll
It was stolen. Wait, it was
Initiative.
stolen away from a dear friend of mine. What?
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. What did you say?
Logan just came in. He's like, initiative. Put him up, Petra. Put him up.
Get out.
Well,
It was
actually,
stolen by a
yeah.
dear friend.
Well, actually,
Her
yeah, you-
look just goes deadpan, and she just makes a beeline toward the guy that you were just talking to at the.
I run and hide.
You're gonna
Run
throw
away.
yourself into initiative.
I run away
Run away further into the building or out?
further into the building. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to hide somewhere.
Roll a stealth check. Yeah, just roll a stealth check.
Hey.
Jeez. Okay.
You're hiding behind
See
your
if anyone
fur.
powers.
can beat that.
Oh no.
It's gonna be one person again.
Yeah. One person's gonna be wise on my bullshit.
All right. So,
Oh.
a couple of options for you. There are a few various tables or pieces of furniture that you can hide behind in the dining
Mhm.
area, or you can
Okay.
actually try to go through a door deeper into the building itself.
Deeper into the building itself, please.
All right, so you go
I want to look
through.
for like a safe.
You go through a doorway. What did you say? You want to look for what?
I want to look for like a secret safe or chest or something that might.
Okay,
hold a
so
pearl.
you go through a doorway into what looks like the back area of the kitchen, and manage to duck behind and hide yourself behind some barrels and crates of food stuff.
Gonna pocket a lot of that food stuff. And do I hear the guards coming after me now? Do
Roll
I
a
hear
perception check.
Perception.
good change of music.
There are definitely guards in the dining area. You can hear them talking.
Okay. I don't have any spells left. I'm so screwed. Okay, well, I'm gonna just start looking for something. I'm just gonna keep going deeper in and just pray that I don't get caught.
So you head deeper into you head deeper and deeper into the recesses of this pantry, and trying to find a place where you feel safe. This is clearly basically the larder of the kitchen that you have exited into.
Okay.
And you are starting to head down from here. It goes down into the cellar area. Do you want to go down into that area?
Yep.
All right. So you head down into the cellar, and it is pitch black down here. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, so you are seeing as though there is dim light. There is no light in here at all, so all of your perception checks are at disadvantage. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okie dokie. Can I cast Prestidigitation and create some light? Or are there any like lights I can light in there? Can I not cast that if I don't know?
you can Prestidigitation can't create a light.
Because you can light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage to see if you see any candles.
Okay. Did you get both?
Nope. Yep, I got both of them. And no, you do not.
Okie dokie. Then I'm just gonna start looking around the edges of the room, like inching my way around. See if I can find anything.
All right. I am going to ask you to turn the volume of your music level up for me. Okay?
Why?
Because you hear something.
Yee.
So as you're fiddling around down here,
Oh my god! My friends, my people. Kitty. Did that work?
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Oh no!
I didn't like
Not
that.
a kitty. What the fuck are you?
Roll initiative.
This is amazing.
roll a perception check.
Know anything about a pearl?
Look, man, I'm just trying to do a job.
Too old for this shit.
Too old for this shit.
You have no idea where these sounds are coming from.
Well, I'm gonna ask it. Hey, know anything about a pearl? Did you steal a pearl from my friend? Nope. What?
I'm so emotionally confused.
Oh, great. It's always good when you have little kids with disembodied voices.
I'm just gonna keep looking and ignore the voices. Oh wait, is that a? Okay, I'm just gonna go then. The ticking clock sounds ominous enough. Fine, I get it. I picked up the signs. Great. You're very ominous and you're very scary. I get it. I'm leaving. Fine. I've got to be a dick about it. I'll go back upstairs.
You slowly make your way up the stairs, leaving the sounds of...
Slink.
Roll me a stealth check to see if you're getting away undetected.
Not one. That's sleight of hand check.
That's sleight of hand. Give me stealth. Let me see if anybody notices you.
Wow, that's really loud.
Music is intense.
Yeah, you can turn it down. I'm done with the sound effects now.
Oh, that was so cool, though.
Nicely done. Masterful.
Yep, nope. You slink away. You manage to find an open window close to the kitchen that they've got open to vent the heat of the kitchen. You make your way out, back into the rainfall, and away from the saddle blanket inn.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go look for Morlo and Emma. Or Emma's not there. I don't know why I keep saying that. Morlo. I'm gonna go look for Morlo.
You find Morlo a couple of 100 feet from the entryway, up the lane waiting for you.
Sorry, can you repeat that? There was a loud car.
Okay, no problem. I said you rendezvous back around with him a couple of 100 feet up the lane from the saddle blanket inn.
Okay. Hey, yeah, we're not going to be able to get back in there until I have my spells back. I definitely screwed up, so we should just go.
Did you see anything?
I saw a really cool, creepy cellar that had things yelling at me, and it kind of seemed like it was maybe something that was trying to deter me from being in there. I don't think it was anything scary or malicious or anything. I think it might have been a spell or something. So I think there's something in the cellar.
Let's go back.
But yeah, I need to disguise myself first before I can get back in there, because I definitely got busted. You know, they're just impervious to my charms, I guess.
Thank you for trying, Kat.
First time in a while. It must be the rain.
No cat likes to get wet.
Ruins the mood.
So where are you guys
Harsh
headed?
is my mellow.
Where
What's
where
the
are
name of the
Petra
other-
and Lo headed?
Sorry,
What was the name of what?
what's the name of the bar of ill repute?
The House of Ill Repute. The House of Ill Decision.
Thank you. I was close. I want to go there
Okay.
and ask around about thieves and pearls.
Oh, okay. For the sake of brevity, we'll just roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Garbage.
You come up empty, and you spend enough time trying to follow those leads that it is getting real close to midnight. If you remember something that was going to be happening at midnight tonight.
Oh shit! My music thing. I gotta go.
All right. So
I give up on this. This is boring.
Anybody else doing anything before heading back to the inn for the night?
I'm just talking with Felix about
All
magic.
right. Feel free to chat it up in the chat with each other if you want to. If you guys actually want to play out whatever you guys are conversing with each other about. Anything else? Foss, anything after you get fitted for armor?
No, just walking the streets very slowly, going back. If my eyes get captured by anybody gambling, I might do that. Or if I see that goblin with that wand, I might do that. But other than that, I'm daydreaming about my armor.
Got it. And you just have all of these visions dancing through your heads of you just kind of like gallivanting across the battlefield in armor, just cleaving through hordes of orcs.
Yeah, thinking to myself, maybe I should get a one-handed weapon and some shields. I wonder if I could wear shields on my knees and just all kinds of crazy ideas.
Congratulations,
Shields on
you've just invented plate armor.
Yay!
Okay. Felix, are you and Emma just having a conversation about magic?
Yep. Having that conversation about magic on the way back to the Grizzle Grimlock.
All right. Morlo, you heading back to the inn after that?
I'm eating dinner, so let's have Morlo eat something.
Yep, let's do it. He just randomly goes and eats people's heads.
Perfect.
Snap.
Exactly what I'm eating right now.
Snap, crackle, pop. Natari has retired for the evening to make his evening prayers and dedications. Okay, so if everybody is okay just jumping ahead, we will say that it gets closer to midnight.
Are we taking a rest?
Yeah, you guys will get a rest. Actually, you guys at this point would have been back at the inn getting your rest. Petra just has business somewhere else in the city.
So I got a rest too?
You will. You haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. By about this point, by about midnight, the storms in the area have rolled out. And I assume Petra is making her way to the squatter's cottage.
Yes.
Which you find actually is across the river in a section of Elmswain that you haven't visited before called Brewer's End.
Ooh. Sounds like my kind of town.
So named because this is the area of Elmswain where all of the breweries and distilleries are located, which is actually the trade that Elmswain is known for. Welcome to Elmswain, everyone.
Hey.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And you are located right there, if you saw the ping.
I did not. Where's the ping?
I'm continuously pinging.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Sorry.
That is the squatter's pottage.
One more time.
To the right now, y'all.
Crisscross. Okay. All right. So you make your way to the squatter's pottage, which is an inn, a tavern and restaurant in Brewer's End, done up in a more modern style. Brewer's End is a newer part of town. Looks to be perhaps a little bit newer than Haymarket, not by much. As you enter at midnight by this point, and it is a Tuesday, so it is a night where everybody has to work the next day. Pretty much, the tavern itself is starting to clear out. As you enter, you see behind the wooden L-shaped bar that runs along one side of the bar, human female tending the bar. In the corner stands a lizard folk who is looking to be the bouncer of the place. You scan the room. Do you know what you're looking for?
I'm looking for that dude in the green cloak. Person in a green cloak.
You're good. All right, so the
Just
notice
this
said
once.
to look for a man wearing a green cloak, but what you find is a man dressed entirely in green from head to toe. Emerald green robes embroidered in gold, covered by an emerald green traveler's cloak. He's young, with dark hair to his shoulders and well-groomed facial hair, and the bluest eyes you've ever seen. He sits alone at a table for two, tucked into a back corner of the tavern room, where the lamplight just barely manages to find him, nursing a tankard and casting his gaze about as if expecting.
I'm going to get, does he have full sight of me? See me as I walk in?
Yes. As you walk in, as he's gazing across, just looking about the room, nursing his tankard, he just spots you because you're noticeable. Just kind of you see him make eye contact with you for a moment, and you get that little cock of the head that you see when most people see you for the first time, having never seen it the backseat before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just looks away as to not be, awkward.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go straight for his table. I'll go for it. Why not?
So as you start approaching the table, he looks up now with you approaching, not embarrassed to make eye contact with you. And you're up to the table. Are you having a seat in the chair across from him?
Yes.
All
Yep.
right. Good evening.
And I put my paws up on the table.
Sure.
My leg paws.
The moldy
Like
maggot?
my
All
leg.
4 of them?
No, just the ones that I walk on.
You just get on all 4s on the table.
Nice. It's Coyote Ugly up in here, y'all. And he just looks at you and he says, "Oh, are you here about the job notice?"
Yeah, are you the gentleman I'm looking for?
I am, yes. My name is Davalor Deadwolf. I manage
Wow.
the affairs of Madame Intranera Verine.
Wow, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
Emerald is definitely your color, sir.
Thank you so much. You are an entertainer.
Yeah, some would say that.
All right. Well, the reason
Once I pay.
well, the madam is putting together a soiree. Madam is putting together a soiree for some distinguished company at her manor in the countryside, and I am tasked with arranging entertainment for the evening. So I am interviewing potential candidates for the position.
Lovely. What kind of entertainment are we talking about here? Full frontal, half frontal, quarter frontal? I can do any of those.
Mostly musical, I would think.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about too. Yes, musical. Yes, I play many instruments, actually.
Or storytelling, or any form, whatever.
I have a great story about how I got a scar right on my butt. So that's
Thank you,
probably
Forrest Gump.
It's probably going to be a good one to tell at the party. I'll probably just stick to music. You know what? Yeah.
Very well. Would you care to audition?
Absolutely. Yes, I would love to audition. What kind of music are we talking about here?
Oh, the madam has varied tastes in music. Just whatever your specialty is.
Oh, my specialty is everything.
I'm still just imagining Petra in the place of like Forrest Gump. So the auditioner's like, "Heard you got a scar," and he's like, "It's on my buttocks." And she just bends over.
See?
I'm imagining. Petra said she played anything, so I'm just imagining Petra.
Gas metal.
This cat with a ukulele, just like death metal.
Screamo.
Just like Norwegian black metal.
Darkness. Oh, parents.
And
Love
every time she talks, I still keep thinking of like Khajiit in Skyrim. It's like, yes, this one plays many instruments.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna whip out my flute and like go to town on it like Lizzo would do.
Great.
And bring down the house.
So roll me a performance check.
Why are men great till they're gonna be great?
Huh?
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Okay.
All right.
Because I got a 21.
Despite what could really only be considered a rocky beginning to the conversation, you incredibly wow him with an excellent performance on the flute. And when you're done, he just sits back and says,
He's in tears.
"That was very impressive. I believe that the madam would love to have that soiree."
Absolutely, I'd love to. So I can do this with my clothes off too, if you'd like. I mean, it's going to cost a little extra, but way more entertaining.
I'll pass that information along to the
I
madam.
call it the deluxe package. Wink.
Duly noted. Very well. If you are interested, I would offer you the opportunity to perform.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Excellent. And he reaches inside of his cloak and he pulls out a rolled up piece of parchment and brings out a quill and an ink pot from a bag that he has underneath the table, and just sets it down in front of you and unrolls the scroll, and he says, "All right, this is the standard contract, stating that you will be at Verine Manor on the 1st of April. Actually, you will be expected to arrive 2 days prior in order to familiarize yourself with the layout of the venue. The soiree is on the 1st of April. You will be expected to be available all day. And upon the end of your day's performance, we will be willing to pay you a sum of 75 gold pieces."
Okay. Great.
So
Perfect.
you will, of course, be provided room and board at the manor.
Ooh. I love it.
Will you be arriving by yourself, or will you have an entourage?
I will have an entourage. We're called Petra and the Backups. Yeah.
Excellent.
We're
Randomly in his sleep back at the Grizzled Grimlock, Xanthion just says, "No, we're not."
In the middle of talking with Emma, Felix just sort of, the fuck?
Excellent. Well, here you go. And he slides the parchment across to you and slides the ink pot and quill over to you. And there is a place down at the very bottom of the contract to sign your name.
Can I read the contract before I sign it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there anything suspicious?
Roll an investigation check.
I forget how to read.
Like, pay-for-play contracts aren't necessarily like routine. You've seen them before. Usually they are for long-standing engagements at like playhouses or larger venues, so it is a little bit unusual to have one here, but I mean, from what you can tell, this is just standard. It specifies you're going to show up, you're going to play, they're going to pay you 75 gold pieces for that.
She completely overlooks the part where they say they get to shave her.
Naked kitty.
I never told him my name, right?
Correct.
Can I sign Felix's name on the contract?
You did say that she is Petra in the backups.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did.
True that.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
you're right.
Gotcha.
Damn it! I don't like signing contracts. Okay, fine. I'll say I don't normally do this, but
We all feel a great disturbance.
Great disturbance in the force.
And I sign it.
What's your armor class?
What? 15.
All right. As soon as you sign it, you feel a needle jab into the back of your hand as soon as you're done signing, and then withdraws.
Oh.
I knew I shouldn't have signed that. What the hell was that?
Oh no.
That was the blood sample. It's right here in section 3. And he taps to a section of the contract that you overlooked. And he
What
holds
does
it up,
it
and you
say?
see a tiny, like basically just a tiny vial of your blood. Yeah.
You don't show up, they kill you with magic.
All right. Sorry. Say that again.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Just like just a teeny tiny vial of your blood, about the size of one of those testers of perfume that you get from department stores. And he taps onto section 3, which, just in passing, as he points it out, you had missed it before with your natural 1 on investigation. That it does specify that he, by signing the contract, you agree to render a blood sample to the footman of Madame Internera Varine.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that back, right?
No.
My blood.
Oh.
Do you? I'm sure we can have arrangements. Yes.
Yeah, I would like that back after
Tux
you're
it
done with it.
I mean, yes, as well. We'll be done with it as long as you show up.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll
of
show
course.
up.
And,
Creep.
and
I say that under my breath. I don't say that to his face.
Roll a perception check.
Just out of game.
Mhm.
During this time, will we be already gone from this town if we go with this perception?
It is currently
Mid-campaign, you just see Petra explode.
it is the 15th of March. This is happening on the 1st of April, and she is supposed to arrive 2 days prior to that.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Bye,
And,
Petra. It was nice playing with your character for the next 2 weeks.
And then Davalor says, "All right, excellent. Are you familiar with the location of the manor?
No, not at all.
You actually want to roll if you know whether you are or not. I understand that you're telling him no regardless.
Oh. What am I rolling? Sorry.
Roll me a history check.
Oh, okay.
There's no way you get there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, you've heard of this place. She's kind of a big to do among some of the aristocracy outside of the Three Kingdoms. She is part of a very old family, and you are vaguely familiar with where her manor is because you would have passed near that area coming from the Three Kingdoms toward Elmswain. It is Varine Manor is somewhat just east of Elmswain in the countryside, but you don't know where it is specifically. You're muted.
Tell me about it, stud.
And he provides you with a map that directs you from Elmswain to Varine Manor.
I was real worried this was going to be south of Elmswain.
And mark in your inventory that you have a map to Varine Manor.
I can't wait until Petra tries to get us to come. Gonna be like herding cats.
No pun intended.
Oh.
All right. Well, and Davalor says, well, if you'll excuse me, I do have to wait around to see if we have any other applicants, even though so far you were the only one.
Fancy that. Sorry, out of game.
Yeah.
Map to what manor?
Varine. VEREIN.
VEREIN. And what else?
That's it.
Okay.
I just want to say hi. How are you?
Okay, excellent. Are you doing anything else? Or at this point, it's probably about 1 a.m. Are you heading back to the Grizzle Grimlock, or you're muted?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so everybody can mark that you get a long rest.
I think I did anything since my other long rest.
Shannon?
Yeah.
Does Felix get a long rest too?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody gets a long rest. Everybody gets their spell slots restored. Morning dawns. With it comes a bright new day. The storm has rolled out overnight, and you are met with a cloudless sky. Today at noon are the tryouts for the envoy to Odic Fest in Bright Hollow. Is there anything anybody wants to do with the morning?
I need someone to give me a piece of gold so I can go get the identifying spell cast.
You're gonna have to earn it.
I head to the
And
temple.
does a little dance for Petra to earn his gold.
I meant shutting up, but yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
Just no talking.
Felix heads to the temple.
Got it.
I eat breakfast, and then I go to where this testing's going to be, and then I sit down and wait patiently.
Got it. Okay. Anything else?
Then once I convince Petra to give me the gold, I'll go to the salvage apothecary.
Okay. Are you actually giving him the gold piece?
Fine, I roll.
Yes.
Okay, now you're gonna shut up for like 3 hours for that.
Okay, I'll.
You're
already disappointing me.
All right. So Xanthion is heading to salvage.
Yep.
All right. So you make your way back to the salvage apothecary. Find it open for business, and as you enter, you see the familiar sight of Ellie Hofbauer dealing with a customer haggling over the price of a healing potion.
Isaac's got his hand raised.
Oh, sorry. I got it on only seeing who the speaker is. What's up, Isaac?
Does Xanthion say that he's going to the apothecary, or does he just leave?
I mean, I feel like I say it.
All right,
Okay.
I go with
Yeah, that's it.
Xanthion.
Okay. All right. So the two of you enter salvage apothecary, and Ellie finishes up with the sale that she is trying to make, and she looks over and she notices you, and she says, "Oh, hello there. Welcome back."
I have your 25 gold pieces.
Oh, well, I don't know what your friends did, but it has been a bit of good luck. I had somebody from the Saddle Blanket Inn come by this morning, and with a flourish, she pulls out a pearl and she says, "They just happened to find it." So
Wow.
please
Yeah, okay.
pass my sincere gratitude along to Felix and Natari and to Morlo for their help in this. And because of the excellent resolution to this, I will absolutely gladly cast your identify spell at no charge.
Hey.
All
Then I
that
hand her
work.
the necklace again.
Hey.
All right. So what is it that you need identified again? Was it a necklace?
It was the obsidian necklace.
Obsidian necklace. Right. So you hand it over, and she takes out the pearl, the same pearl, and holds it up to her forehead and says, and stops for a second, looks at you and says, "You know, honestly, it's a very good thing that I got this back, because I totally forgot yesterday. This is the same pearl that I used to cast identify. So I wouldn't have even been able to cast this for you had it not shown back up." Shows how scatterbrained I am, right? And she takes the obsidian necklace and she lays it so that the spear-like pendant is lying in her palm with the leather cord draping down over her hand, and she starts intoning the words for identify, and she chants for. Let's see here. Casting time is a full minute, so for 60 full seconds, she is here just with the pearl and making strange movements with the pearl over, and then she finishes the casting, and she looks at it, and she. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Where did you find this again?
Remember that guy that I woke up to and he was looking at me from my bed?
Ladrin.
Oh, well, that might explain it. Now, this is odd. I don't know much about pact magic, but that's not the way that I'm taught. I learned magic through study, but I know that there are some people who cast through pacts with more powerful beings, and this allows such a person to basically draw more power from the being that they have made a pact with without actually having to give any more of themselves to them in return. It's a focus of power drawn from whatever pact you have forged with a patron. Interesting. Don't see this every day. And she hands it back to you.
Just looking at Xanthion's face right now.
Give it to Emma.
I'm typing out all processing all of that. Thank you. I put the necklace back on.
Of course. Hey, it's the least I can do. And she sits up on the counter and she sits down 2 potions of healing and slides them across to you. And also for payment, in my appreciation.
Thank you.
You lucky bastard.
I grab one and I hand the other one to Emma.
Okay.
What do I do with this?
Oh, that's a healing potion, sweetheart. You drink it. It's a restorative draft.
Right now? I feel fine.
No, don't drink it right now.
No. Drink it if you start to feel. Hopefully,
Bad.
you'll never need it. But if you feel like you've taken a beating, that'll put you back on your feet.
Okay.
Remember that time you died?
Yeah.
Drink
I
that
didn't,
before you do that.
I got knocked out. I didn't die.
You were pretty dead.
Take it from
Anyway.
Xanthion. He kills a lot of people.
Yeah, you're pretty dead. Actually, no, I killed an old lady one time, but that's beside the point. And then I fully walk out and just head to where Foss is.
Got it.
I should know. I killed an old lady one time. Bye.
Okay. All right. So you can mark in your inventory that you currently have a dark shard amulet, Xanthion.
Is Emma following me?
I don't know. Is Emma following?
Are there ingredients for sale, or is it only the potions?
I mean, it does look like she has a number of herbs and alchemical components that she uses. As whether or not they're actually for sale, you don't know.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh my God, Shannon.
What?
The Dark Shard Amulet?
Oh, yeah.
I'm scared about that. That's that reaction.
You've got to be shitting me.
You need to give that to Emma.
It is literally completely useless to Xanthion, and yet
I
he put it back
know!
on as soon as she handed it back to him.
Yeah, I don't.
Eventually, if this trend continues, Xanthion is eventually going to look like Beetle from Breath of the Wild. That's just got the huge pack with everything that he owns. And the rest of you are going to be like literally like completely unclothed.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I just looked up. I hand the amulet to Emma. I'm like, take
Okay.
it.
What's this? Is that necklace? Weren't you supposed to have it?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
This is supposed to keep you. This is gonna keep you safer while you use your pact magic.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else anybody else is doing?
I'm probably gonna head off and attune to that.
Okay. You definitely have time to do that before the tryouts at noon. At this point, it's about 9 a.m.
All right. And no, never mind.
Soon. Okay. Anything else anybody wants to do?
Tryouts.
Actually, I'm gonna head back to the inn and get breakfast then.
Okay. Breakfast is had.
I'm just sitting there waiting patiently, humming some Dragonborn hymn.
Yeah, I'm gonna get breakfast too.
Sorry, really quick, did we get a long rest or a short rest?
Long rest.
Long rest. Thank you.
Yep.
I forgot to do that.
No problem. Yep, make sure that you do that. Okay. So everybody has breakfast and okay. So as the morning progresses toward noon, it starts to get close to time to head to the Sprouted Bounty. So are you guys all making your way over together?
I would say
PC.
boss.
Excellent. So
I'm already
and
there.
Foss is already there. Foss, roll me an investigation check.
Love
Yeah,
the
okay,
music.
9. So yeah, you find your way to it. Not too much problem. You've been sitting there you basically head out as soon as you're up and out. So then basically about 4 hours later, the rest of your party joins you. Now, Brewer's End is the area of Elmswain that started to grow up across the River Ingvisen from Old Town when brewers and distillers started to come to the area. Originally, Elmswain was just basically a trading post between the Three Kingdoms and the Amber Vale. But as the brewery started to start up and became more prominent, the entire city started to grow as Elmswain became known as a brewer's town. And then sometime slightly later, one of the brewing families invented what is called aquavita, which is a distilled liquor, one of the few distilled liquors that is available in Sangamet. And Elmswain is famous for it. So this industry just grew in Elmswain, and Elmswain grew along with it. And the rise of Brewer's End is what also gave rise to the Haymarket, as what at one point was just a relatively decent sized trading post grew into a decent sized city. And
I swear, if you say brewing one more time, I'm going to have to go get me a beer.
brewing.
Like squatter's pottage.
Here, Ron.
So you make your way.
You win.
So you make your way to the Sprouted Bounty, which is a mill house in Brewer's End, and it's actually rather than what you find is a complex of buildings rather than a singular mill house. Multiple water and windmills all churning in unison as multiple laborers scurry about. You notice each one wearing a tin badge in the shape of a 5-pointed star. And at the heart of the sprawl of mill houses stands a large central structure looking more like a warehouse than a mill house. And the sign above the door bears the name of the establishment, the Sprouted Bounty, in arched letters, beneath which is emblazoned the symbol of an anvil, and crossed over it a hammer and a stalk of wheat. Roll me a religion check, whoever wants to get in on it.
Okay. Probably not going to be the best, but we do it anyway. Come on. Oh, not bad.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Logan, you have no idea. This is a variation of the Forge Mother, her holy symbol. And it's one of her her alternate title is the Form Giver, and where the Forge Mother is known as presiding over actual creation of craft work, like actually making something, shaping it out with your bare hands, mostly through blacksmithing. The Form Giver is much more inclusive of various types of creation and occupations. So this leads you to believe that the person here is a worshiper of the Form Giver. And there are lots of people scurrying about, but there are also signs that direct you, applicants for Elmswain this way. And it just kind of leads you through and through and through to this central building. And you do see somebody outside who is wearing the 10 star that everybody seems to be wearing here, with a clipboard, and is human, middle-aged, wearing workman's clothes, and he's just calling out. He's like, applicants for Bright Hollow, check in here, please. Applicants for Bright Hollow.
I drag my mace over there.
And Foss, you meet up with the rest of the party at this point.
Okay.
And you guys make your way up to him. And he looks up and he's like, all right, too right then. Here to apply for the Bright Hollow position.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Hi. Hello.
Excellent. Right this way, please. Right this way. And he leads you into the Sprouted Bounty, the central complex of the Sprouted Bounty, which is, strangely enough, doesn't look at all like this building itself is used for any sort of milling or storage. This is the business complex. There are a series of rooms, but this building that he leads you into is set up more like a house than a business. And he leads you through down a long hallway to a set of double doors. And he just says, all right, everyone, this is it. On the other side of this door, you will apply for the job. Good luck. Tut tut. And he leaves.
Tut.
All right. So you are standing before the doors.
I open the door.
Walk in.
Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go.
I don't even open the door. I walk right into the door.
All right. So you walk in. And the room that you walk into is large and sparse. The music
Everybody's socially distanced.
Everybody is socially distanced with their masks
Okay.
on. All right.
My mask is in my car. Sorry.
The room is large and sparse, the bulk of it occupied by the 50 by 50 gravel pit in the center. To the east and west of the pit, wooden risers line the walls. On the west stand, 4 watchmen from the Guards Corps are seated. To the east sit 4 ranking officers of the same. To the south, at the far end of the room, standing shoulder to shoulder and conversing quietly, stands a human and a dragonborn. The human is old, white hair and beard spilling down over brown embroidered robes. Felix, you notice him immediately as the man you had seen the day prior at the Shrine of the Forge Mother in the Pantheon. Standing beside him, the Dragonborn scales are a deep bronze, and he too wears robes, though much simpler in design than his human companions. And all around him dance and scurry what look like miniature versions of himself, none standing more than 2 feet high, chirping and singing and laughing, while one such creature enjoys a seat of privilege upon the Dragonborn's shoulder. As you enter, the two break their conversation and look up at you. And the human takes half a step forward closer to the pit and says, welcome to the Sprouted Bounty. I am Lowell Morngrim, owner of the mill house. I assume that you're all here to apply.
Yep.
Don't everybody talk at once now.
That's us.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm having to do other things right now. Okay.
Our group is called Petra and the Backups.
No,
Yes,
it's
we
not.
are
it's
here.
not.
No, it's that. That's not true.
I say we should vote on it probably
No.
later, though. Yeah, you guys just need some time to think about it and realize how genius it is.
Foss, Ben,
Yes.
nobody else in the group would know this. You identify the creatures that are scurrying around the Dragonborn as kobolds.
Okay.
You have not seen kobolds since leaving the Shadowlands.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Are they like friend to the Dragonborn?
Yeah. Oh, they're running around his legs and climbing and tugging at his robes.
I mean,
and one
like
is actually
back
sitting on his
back
shoulder.
home, are they friend to the Dragonborn back home?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Kobolds and Dragonborn exist together in the same society.
Understood.
Kobolds came to Sangamet at the same time that Dragonborn did. They hitched a ride with
Gotcha.
you guys. Okay. And Lowell Morngrim says, all right, well, this is my friend Kuiper. He runs the Kuiper's Cooperage. Together, we're going to be judging the applicants for escort of some goods to Bright Hollow. The rules are simple. In the middle of the pit, there's a chest. These fine people are going to be trying to take it from you. Don't let them. And don't leave the pit. We'll be using life steal for this. But please don't strike to kill if you can avoid it. If you can't, that's what I'm here for. Other than that, anything goes. Good luck. Applicants, take your positions.
Ashley.
Do a little kitty stretch, you know, on all fours, tip to tail. Do a little like stretch.
Meh, stretch.
Does a little shiver thing at the end, you know.
Am I there?
Yeah, Emma, you're there.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. We can move now, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Can we move? Okay.
These people have told you, Lowell Morngrim and Kuiper have told you to take up whatever positions you want.
Okay. Let's see.
Staying
Okay,
with
well, I'm
Petra,
gonna
my
do
bad
there.
influence.
My bad influence.
Oh, okay. Just trying to strategically.
Dad found your.
I think we should make a V, guys. Because we're going to
Sure,
be
go
getting
ahead, make
attacked.
a V.
We're going to be attacked from both sides. We need to make a V.
Yeah.
Or not. It's okay.
Generally, that would work out if we were all frontline fighters.
So
Me and the Toro
Natari,
can handle it.
hearing that, comes over and like makes a V with you at the apex across from Felix.
Okay. And then, is the turtle coming? Is Scott even still here?
I'm trying to like zoom or move my mirror, but it won't, or my it won't let me zoom in on it.
You've got the plus and minus up at the top, right?
Yeah, but I do that and then it just goes away completely.
Oh, move the thing on the
I'm trying
bottom
to-
side to side,
Toggle
and
it.
that should bring it back in.
There we go. I see it. Okay. All right, there we are.
I would say form a V, and then all the mushies get into the V.
Well, I'm a mushy.
You're not a mushy. You're a bard.
I'm mushy though. I'm
There's a
floofy.
difference.
Not anymore. Bards used to be mushies. Now they're.
Yeah, I was gonna say bards are now no more mushy than clerics are.
Oh, okay, good.
I would
Well, I'm
say put
floofy.
the casters. Put
I was gonna
Emma.
say our cleric's pretty mushy right now.
I'm. Foss will just go with it though, so y'all just do what you want. I need to make a bossy guy.
Where I'm at right now works for me because I'm right in between, right next to both Foss and my bad influence.
Well, actually, we might need to have the bad influence there constantly picking the lock.
No. You are supposed to be keeping them from getting the chest. Not
Yeah,
it.
let's keep away.
Kill them all. They said not to kill them, but
All
I
right,
see
can
no
I
other
test?
option.
Can I pick the chest up? I'm just going to test its weight.
You're not
Can I-
supposed to leave the pit.
I know
either.
I'm not supposed to leave the pit, but that doesn't mean the
If he could
The
just run
chest
around
can't
with
move.
the chest.
Can I pick the
Boy.
chest
It'd
up?
be amazing.
I'm
Sounds
just
like
going
it's
to
gonna
test
turn out
its
like
weight.
A Three Stooges or Benny Hill episode.
Roll an athletics check.
An
my
athletics
God.
check.
I was gonna cast
come on.
Earth
Nat 20,
Tremor,
Nat 20.
and it's
This would
loose
be
earth.
this would be the moment
so-
to have an immovable rod.
You can hoist it.
I mean, is it movable? I mean,
Yeah.
how? Okay.
All right,
You
pick
can-
it up. Sure.
You can carry this chest at half your movement speed.
Well, it's an option.
It's
Or
better than keeping it stationary.
or if two of you move in tandem, two of you could pick it up and carry it at your full movement. Okay?
All right.
What if we quickly moved it to a corner?
All right. And
Oops.
you take these positions and you hear
Sorry.
the Dragonborn, who hasn't spoken up to this point, it just speaks up and says, "Are you ready?"
Everybody ready?
Oh,
I'm going to say back in
Disregard that
Draconic.
spell. That was an accident.
Of course, my brother. That's what I'm saying back in Draconic.
I say I'm ready, but I say it in Gnomish.
Oh,
nice.
Okay, then I'm gonna say I'm ready in
Moving
deep speech just to fuck with everyone.
Yes, right. Yeah,
Like we
And I'll
all
say it.
knew what everybody was saying.
Yeah. Can I try to use that to intimidate everyone?
Maybe let's get back to it. What's Morlo doing?
Morlo will say it in Aquan.
Nice. It's a multicultural group. All right. And the Dragonborn just looks over at the human, and the
Every
human
language.
says, "All right, begin." And that's where we'll pick up next session.
you motherfucker!
Oh man!
Aw.
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Two and a half hours is
minutes.
about my limit.
I get it.
Fantastic, everybody. Good session. And let's pick it up right back here. Let's try to figure out a day next week that works for everybody. And I will say, everybody, social interaction is pretty intense this episode. So I'll say another 75. We'll say another 75 experience points
Nice.
for navigating the
Nice.
intricacies of Elmswain society.
So us latecomers are at 5:05.
Okay. And the original 4, what are you guys at?
805.
805.
So you guys are 95 away from leveling up. Is that correct?
See.
Cool beans. All right.
Is there is there enough time to explain what the hell happened? How the fuck did we get the pearl?
You don't
Or
know.
s-
He never told
Okay.
us
I
that
mean,
no,
he
he's
even
been out of
happened.
game. Do it.
Well, Ellie Hofbauer at Salvage just said that somebody from the Saddle Blanket Inn stopped in that morning and dropped it off, saying that they had found it.
Yeah. Are you gonna explain? Can we know what happened, or is that gonna be revealed later?
It depends on.
I'm just curious.
But depends on if you pursue it in game.
Oh, okay. All right. Just curious.
I love the fact that I've got you peaked, though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I guess we did it.
All right.
It is.
Turns out the new pearl's cursed.
Hey, because it would hold the results. Do we want to roll initiative now, so that way we save time getting into it tomorrow or next week?
Yeah, sure. Wait, have we dropped some people out? Because
looks like
I
we
did
have
my best.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
out.
got everybody.
Thoughts I was about to that, so I dropped.
Not
well,
I.
no, I'm saying on roll 20.
Oh, on
Me.
roll 20.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I actually.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I
I've
am
already
just.
left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's not going to take us long to roll initiative next time. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a
All right.
click.
All right. Cool.
Okey-dokey.
All right.
See you guys next week.
Check the group chat. Let's figure out a day that works next week. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Fun.
All right.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Bye.